welcome back to my channel for movie reviews of the year 2023. I am going to be going over the next film on our list, which came out on March 10th. It's called Inside, is rated R, is an hour and 40 minutes, distributed by Sony Pictures. Now, this film I did not actually see in theaters. My friend and I were made aware of this film last year when we went to the theaters to see the film by Darren Aronofsky, The Whale. And while we were seeing that film, the trailer for this film, Inside, premiered, and we were very interested in it. It stars Willem Defoe. We both absolutely love Willem Defoe. But when it came to March, we knew this film was coming out, and the week it came out, we looked at every theater, the one closest to us, and then the one 30 minutes away, and just every theater around our area, and we could not find this film playing anywhere. I looked even at movie reviewers, because a lot of movies get reviewed days in advance before they actually premiere, and I couldn't see anybody reviewing this movie. We couldn't find it in any theaters, so unfortunately I did not watch this movie in theaters. I did actually just watch it last month on Amazon Prime. The synopsis of this film is a high-end art thief gets trapped in this luxurious high-tech penthouse New York Times Square after the heist does not go as planned.
Final approach to target. Number one, go!
Okay, you got 7 minutes.
Stay focused. The art in here is worth millions. Proceed to step 2.
What's happening? Come in! It won't open!
Sorry, man. You're on your own.
It's not a big cast at all. It stars Willem Defoe, who plays Nemo. Willem Defoe has also played in Spider-Man 1 and 2, the Sam Raimi versions, The Lighthouse, American Psycho, and Antichrist, and many more films. Again, like I stated, my friend and I, we really love Willem Defoe, and that's actually what attracted us to this movie, as well as the synopsis of an artist or someone who's so in love with art going to steal pieces of art. It just had a really neat concept. It also stars Eliza Stuck as Jasmine. She's not really in it. She has no speaking part. You just kind of see her, but she is the only other human Nemo tries to interact with. You can stream Inside on Amazon Prime, which is what I streamed it on, Apple TV, Vudu, and Redbox. What I thought about the film, it was, like I expected, is very artistic. It did have great cinematography. It was very lengthy, again, an hour and 40 minutes. I will say this. I'm glad I streamed it, because, and I tried so hard, I really did, to just not look at my phone, put my phone to the side, and not look at the time. Because if I'm in a theater, I'm not going to be looking at the time. I always turn my phone off. I'm always respectful in the theater. So I wanted to be the same way at home and treat it as if it's a theatrical event. Unfortunately, I didn't last that long, because it's a survival film that he's trapped in this place and he has to basically survive, because the temperature is wonky. At one point it's too hot and he needs to get water, and at another point it's too cold and he needs to warm up and blanket up. So it's basically just a survival movie, and so it's very isolating. But it was really long, and there's a lot of repeated scenes, not the same scenes, but just repeated things. Like, he would try to get the water from the plant area that the homeowners have in their house. Every day the water would go on for the plants, and so he would time it to either go lay in it. The first day he just lays in it, the next day he collects some of the water, so he'll have water later on. things like that. So it just repeats a lot of like, okay, he's learning how to advance the survival skill.
Come in, number 3. Number 3, come in.
There was also a confusing part for me. It's not really like I want to say spoilers or anything, I guess spoiler alert, but like, again, not many people are talking about this film. But if you're interested, there was one part where I thought the owner of the house came back, and from his perspective, he falls, he takes a really big fall, and when he gets back up, the owner of the house is there and he knocks him out. So he kind of passes out again. But when he comes to, there is no owner, and it just goes back to that same routine that it was showing before. The character of Jasmine is just someone he sees on the security camera, and she's a janitor, so she'll be like cleaning, and the door is like humongous. The entrance door, it's humongous, it's heavy, it's bulky. It's not like just a simple door, you just open it and everything. So he's literally locked in here. And there's a scene where she's right outside the door, like probably the door's like maybe that thick. And it sucks because it's like just this one slab of wood right here is separating him from getting outside. And of course she has her headphones in, so he's like trying to yell and scream like, hear me, and she can't. And kind of like how I thought that the owner of the house came into the penthouse, but obviously he didn't, because when at the end of the movie he's not there. There's a scene, this one was a little bit more obvious, as a hallucination where Nemo hallucinates that Jasmine is there, and it's because he's craving human affection, so he imagines human affection, if you get my drift.
Help me! Get me out of here!
It was a good movie. It's very artistic, very cinematic. They have some really good shots in it. To do a survival movie where you really aren't interacting with anyone, Willem Defoe obviously did a really great job. I do think logically, because I always am the person when I see a movie. I'm kind of glad I didn't see it with anyone, because I'd be asking a million questions, to which I annoy all my friends by them saying, I'm asking so many questions. Why did this happen? Why did this happen? Well, Amanda, so the movie could go forward. But the heist, when the heist goes bad, I'm just amazed that for a penthouse, there were no alarms that went off. There was an alarm that went off, but there's no cops that came by. There's a part where he kind of sets the smoke alarm off and everything, and he's thinking surely someone's gonna, the fire station's gonna come in. No one ever comes in. The place is just freaking flooded, and he's just like, I guess no one lives here. They never come back. I think I don't even know how many days he spent in there, but he spent what felt like eternity in there, and no one ever came back. So I don't know what happened to the owners. I don't know what happened to the fire station. I don't know what happened to the police station. So there are things like that in it that was just frustrating, that like realistically, if your smoke alarm goes off, you would expect the fire station to get there. So I don't know. Those kind of details just kind of irked me. But overall, I'm not going to give it the greatest points. Obviously, there's acting from the great Willem Defoe, and it's cinematic. They had some really good shots. They have some really good point of views, everything like that. But to keep my interest, it's not really rewatchable. I would not. There's nothing even in it I'd be like, oh, I'll rewatch it by fast forwarding everything just to watch this part again. Not really. So it's not rewatchable for me. So I'm gonna give it a pretty low score. Not an F. It's not completely bad. It's close. I'm gonna give it a D minus. It just didn't hold my interest. I've seen a lot of survivor movies, and I'm just like, there was a lot of things in the outside world that should have prevented him from getting locked in there. The person that he was talking to on the walkie-talkie in the beginning just never, I guess they just left him, which can happen with thieves. They will leave them. But he doesn't, I don't think, he doesn't even leave with the art pieces. Spoiler, he does get out. That's how the movie ends, and I felt relief there. I was like, okay, at least he got out. But it wasn't the most interesting. I do wish it could have been seen more, and I wish there could be more reviews on it. And if anyone has seen it, please leave your comments down below. I want to have a discussion with people about this film. I want to try to understand it maybe a little bit better. Maybe there's things I missed. Maybe there's things I noticed that if anyone in this world other than me has watched it, maybe they didn't notice. I would just love to have a conversation with someone about this film. If you guys want to check it out, it is on Amazon Prime and all the other streaming lists as well. But it wasn't a waste of time. I'll say that. I won't ever rewatch it. I did have to end up taking a break. But it wasn't a waste of my time. I don't regret watching this movie. I'm glad I finally got to see it in its entirety and everything. So, again, please leave a comment, especially I want to have a conversation about this film. And like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys at the next movie. Thanks. Bye.
When I was a kid, my teacher asked me what I would save from my house if it were on fire. I answered my sketchbook, my AC/DC album, and my cat Groucho. I didn't mention my parents or my sister. Does that make me a bad person? Cats die. Music fades. But art is for keeps.